Thank you to all the school board members and community members who are attending tonight's meeting to hear about the literacy plan for the Blaine cluster schools following Johnsville Elementary, Roosevelt Middle School through Blaine High School, and the impact that our plan has on students current and in the future. Thank you for attending and being an active part of our district's plan. As we know, there's many factors involved in the classroom, from culture, disability, students' experience. They come into the classroom, their learning preferences, the economics, adult support system, disabilities, languages, race, gender, motivation, personal interests, and students who had advanced abilities, or in our district we call it talent development, and our plan with each of these types of students. When we look at our current reality, we see that in the literacy area tested by the state in the Minnesota report card, the schools start at 74.5% passing rate at the elementary school, and then we decrease to 72.8% at Roosevelt Middle School, down to 67.8% at Blaine High School. As you see with this data and also research, that students who are not making gains in first or third grade will also be decreasing as the years go on. So we need to focus our impact on the early years as well as the students who need intervention. Here's Anoka Hennepin School's mission and vision statement for the district. That the mission is that the primary mission of Anoka Hennepin School District is to effectively educate each of our students for success. So to fulfill this mission, we are holding the district accountable for providing a caring, highly trained, and effective staff who use research-based best practices. We'll talk about some of these later on in the meeting. Provide learning opportunities that meet the individual learning needs of each student, from our students on IEPs all the way through our talent development students. Monitoring student achievement to maximize each student's learning. Promoting high achievement for all students. Acknowledging parents' roles as their children's primary educators and partnering with them to increase student success. Improving connection with the community to foster public involvement with and understanding of our educational programs, providing a safe and respectful learning environment, and using all resources effectively and efficiently. Our vision statement here in Anoka Hennepin is the vision is to be a public school system of excellence with high quality staff and programs and successful graduates. Our district's continuous improvement plan, which we will follow along in the PowerPoint today, starts with assessing the program's effectiveness, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges, moving on to identifying needs for improvement with curriculum, assessment, professional development, and program change, creating an improvement plan, collecting data, identifying action steps, planning professional development and what that looks like here in Anoka Hennepin, developing a budget and an evaluation plan, specifically in regards to teacher appraisal system, and then following that improvement plan, identifying a feedback loop, engaging stakeholders, and monitoring the progress, and then starting over that it's a continuous improvement model, and we'll continue working on this in the future. First, we're going to talk about the professional development plan in regards to differentiated instruction. Because of the diversity in every classroom, we differentiate instructions. We have to consider whom we teach, where we teach, and how we teach. As a school, we design our instruction based on both understanding by design and differentiated instruction. When the work is guided by both principles, we are able to serve the students by providing a quality curriculum and quality instruction, flexible grouping, interest-based instruction, and responsive environments. Teachers build positive teacher-student relationship, which creates a good climate for learning. Creating an understanding by design document doesn't mean the teachers are going to teach a rigid plan. Teachers are implementing pattern of instructions that are likely to serve multiple needs. Teachers implement patterns of instructions likely to serve multiple needs. Students will get to know their students, incorporate small group teaching, teach to the high end, use informal assessments, teach in multiple ways, allow flexible learning, and use clear rubrics while cultivating learning. A few ways that students will be doing this will be to reteaching as well as teaching to the high-end students. Teachers may use informal assessments to guide their instruction and make changes as they go. Teachers teach in multiple ways, which allows flexibility, instruction, and learning. Students will have access to their rubrics with clear guidelines on expectations. All classrooms cultivate diversity and foster differences in backgrounds and learning styles. Backwards design is a three-step backwards design process for curriculum planning. If you reference a template on the right, it is designed to assist educators to focus on important content while planning backwards. Stage 1. Identify desired results. We start with setting our priorities. In the beginning process, we consider our goals, examine standards, and review the curriculum. In Stage 2, we determine acceptable evidence in the section where we design assessments that align with the goals of Stage 1. Stage 3. Plan learning experience and instruction. This is the lesson plan category where we are able to plan instructional activities that are engaging and effective for learners. The process. We strongly believe in a district with a diverse population and size of Anoka Hennepin that we need to teach to all students. Students learn differently due to many factors, including poverty. Brain research confirms what experienced teachers has always known, that no two children are alike, no two children learn in the identical way. An enriched environment for one student is not necessarily enriched for another, and in the classroom we should teach children to think for themselves. Mariana Diamond. So we have created a few strategies to empower students to learn at their best. Here in Anoka Hennepin, we believe in differentiation for intervention and instructional support. Tier 1 starts with all students receiving high-quality reading instruction in whole and small groups. Whole group provide equal access to grade level standards, and small group provides differential to meet student needs. Tier 2. Students not making adequate progress in the core curriculum are provided with increasing intensive instruction matched to their needs. Tier 3. Students with greater needs receive more intense support, instruction occurs more frequently, and low student-to-teacher ratio. Teachers will pre-teach the essential vocabulary within their classroom to provide background knowledge for all students. Students of poverty don't have the same experiences as privileged students. Providing background knowledge helps the students to link the context to previous information. This may include any information, explanation, description, or demonstration of the terms. Teachers may use online resources to provide visual, pictures, or video clips to give further insight into the topic. Students of varying cultures need to be able to make connections to their own culture. Teachers use content in varying forms to provide the background information and connection. Once the initial assessment has taken place, a teacher can use a differentiation approach to determine what modifications are necessary and assign group or group strategies, which we'll discuss further in the upcoming slides. It takes a village. Teachers have varying degree of skill sets within the classroom. Some teachers reach students through a high level of academics, while others reach their students through relationships. It takes 10 years or 10,000 hours for a teacher to become efficient at teaching, so we're here to support their classroom with experienced teachers and support programs. It takes a village for students to be successful. We have multiple ways for students to fit into our mold. We'll look at regrouping students based on their rubric scores. And in the high school setting, we have math and reading tutor rooms, as well as small group instruction or providing tutors. All students will work on improving proficiency to meet the standards to become competent. We're going to talk about professional development and how key it is here for teachers to be effective, and that the Minnesota State does look at what parents believe about their teachers. And that here's an example of Johnsville, that a huge percentage from agree and strongly agree that the teachers are doing an efficient job, while only 5% disagree. Professional learning and development makes a high impact. It needs to be intentional, with a clear goal in mind, focusing on the importance of student learning, measuring adult decisions, and a focus on people and practices rather than programs. People and practices ensure programs rarely do. Today's new program and staff development opportunities have the potential to be gone tomorrow. However, whether the program lasts, the students will continue to walk into our classrooms. It is critical to focus on student learning through a few items that will have the greatest impact on student success. Professional development is primarily focused on the teacher's learning with support through PLC and QComp. Staff development days. As many of you are aware, it takes time to implement a new program. Often we only have one day every trimester to train teachers through a staff development day. Due to evidence that effective transformation of teaching requires over 30 to 40 hours of consistent focus due to Reeves research, we're sure that we need ongoing support through the PLC and QComp programs. PLC and QComp are able to continue the vision on a weekly basis. According to Killian, teachers must be involved in continual professional learning for effective delivery of content standards to students, resulting in improved student achievement. Professional learning team meetings are held every Wednesday. This allows teachers time to collaborate on best practices and implementation into the classroom. The focus starts with creating clear, concise learning targets, best practice strategies, and formative assessments, as well as common assessments given at the end of the trimester. Teachers work together in teams to develop and adjust their teacher based on their UBD document, backward design, and data-driven measurements. Teachers make changes based on student understanding across classrooms and occasionally schools. Going back, QComp is the performance appraisal system to support specific measurements for adult decisions. QComp coaches are available for coaching throughout the year. Teachers need to receive clear feedback with a defined path for improvement. The coach observes the teacher 2 times a year, with additional peer observing the teacher once a year. Through the QComp appraisal system, teachers are able to be measured on a rigorous scale. Specific feedback will be supplied to our teachers from coaches every year and administration on a 3-year cycle. With a focus on people and practices, the staff development opportunities through staff development workshop, PLC, and QComp teachers are able to develop their skills in the classroom on an ongoing basis. As we talked about the action step a little earlier in this PowerPoint, we're talking about using the backwards design the district has been implementing with this curriculum plan. Each curriculum year, the district will take a 2-year pilot to revisit data. The implementation year and the focus year, the literacy content will be reviewed and evaluated. Kim Pavlovich shared the numbers in our interview, explaining finding the right curriculum and implementing it with the backwards design is the first step in this process. Teachers are provided review time to evaluate their students' data in PLC along with content-specific teams. We'll continue talking about this in the next slide.